video will be on how to turn off Google spying on you, using your data, etc. I'm not sugarcoating it. Today, Google had that glitch in the matrix, deja vu with the cat thing happen, and it's been doing it for the last week, where every time I log in, it gives me an error message saying, security notice. It's complaining about me using a browser that wasn't written by them so they could have control over it. First setting, myaccount.google.com/less secure apps. This won't work after May 30th, 2022, because they don't want you to do that. It turns off the nag where they give you a vague, we had a suspicious login. No, it's because I'm not using a browser you like. And then they tell you, well, you might want to use Firefox. I am. You might want to use the latest one. I am. This is heavily customized, but it's still the secure one. This is a lie. Anyway, I want to point out that they made it to where if you highlight anything here, it'll immediately turn it back off. What this does is it allows me to use Firefox and tells it, yes, I know you don't like it. You call it a less secure app, but that's not the thing. And it's not less secure. What they say, less secure sign-on technology, what they're talking about is using a password and login. That's literally what it means. When you hit learn more, it says it wants you to do Google's login. And you might have noticed it's nagging everybody lately to use Google Password Manager because it's more secure. That's bullshit. So let's review. Ad settings. adsettings.google.com/authenticated. Ad personalization is off. I don't want it personalizing anything based on advertising. Next one, personal results. This will do things like mining data for your Google products, like search history, which I've paused, my flights, or directions home from maps, or your Gmail account. Yeah, it looks at your Gmail. It reads your email. And by opting out of one more thing that it has, that reduces the likelihood of them spying on my email. This is an implication. If I enable this, I'm allowing them to have at least metadata access to my Gmail. No. Discover stories, what to watch, where to eat, suggestions on what I'm supposed to eat. If this doesn't sound creepy to you, you haven't been paying attention. Anyway, pausing search history and everything like that would work great, but it turns this on, show personal results. Now remember, let's review. This is a code word for, yes, I'd like to use something besides a Google phone and a Google browser, you fucks. Ad settings. I don't want you to base what I'm doing on people wanting me to do advertisement-based stuff. Personal results. That's a nice way of saying mining my data and sharing it with somebody because they're selling it. And then, obviously, on Google Dashboard. This used to be where you could click a bunch of things and see what shit they turned on. Now it says if you've recently used it. Gmail, obviously, and YouTube. And then down here, Google Drive. That's real. Other Google services. It acts like these are two separate things. This is the Google Calendar, and this is the task list, or Google Tasks or Reminders under Google Calendar. It's one feature, and it won't let you turn these off. Yes, it says I have a Google Calendar, and it has a delete Google Calendar button, and then it refuses to delete it. I'm not allowed to delete any Google Calendar. Neither are you. And the task list, even if you turn it off, it turns it right back on along with the calendar right after you exit. It's a way to nag you until you use it. And they can always say, well, we have millions of people signed up with Google Calendar, but none of us use it for anything. And next, I want to point out something else I wasn't using that I only found when I looked into Google products here, which used to be listed, my account, Google.com products, and it would give me a list of products. Now I got to go dig up all the products one at a time and turn them off. One of them it enabled was the My Library thing, Google Books, books.google.com/books. Now, I'm going to have to do a little trick here, because every time I click this and try to change the setting in the address bar, it puts in the secure code to get access to it because they don't know how to do security on Google. Yeah, I'm not going to use their Google logins and Google Password Manager. Anyway, here we go. Edit properties for your favorites list. Now, it says private now. I can clear the bookshelf, which I recommend you do unless you use this all the time. And edit properties, and I said make private. and then I hit save. And then I have to do that on all of them. Now I'm going to go back to my library here, I hope. Let's see, can I do that? Is it going to really do it? Now it'll change this user interface over here and make it really confusing. But if you hit this on Google Play, it just says My Books on Google Play, and it goes to Google Play. Same thing with purchased and whatever. All of these are Google Play over here until you get to your years reviewed and recently viewed and blah, blah, blah. All these are supposed to say private. This is my 4th time through this, telling it, I don't want you to share my information. Number 1, it was blank. Number 2, it had what it called browsing history, which I disabled before on everything, but it opted me in. And in this case, for your browsing history, you have to go through and it says resume collection. I had to click the stop collection to get it to stop doing it. That's a totally separate setting. So now you've seen that. Now I'm going to go over here and hit F11. If I click My Library, it will bring up a unique ID code for My Library and show it to you, even though that's a frickin' basically a cookie. So anyway, disable personal results, disable ad settings, and turn on less secure app access, because that's really just a code word for I'm refusing to use a Google-approved browser, meaning any browser other than the one they put out. And on Google Dashboard, again, it used to list everything you used. Now it lists whatever you used recently, and then other Google services, and it says one services too, even if you don't use it. And before this, it really did list everything I just showed you to turn off. And again, that's their idea of notifying you. They don't notify you. They just expect you to go to myaccount.google.com/dashboard and check it every once in a while and see what dirty trick they pulled. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And yeah, it's because of the war in Ukraine. A bunch of shit's been turned off in Russia. They're having to block a bunch of people trying to hack in everywhere. So their servers are getting attacked. So they're turning on security and being paranoid. And you and I have to contend with this. And that's also yet another reason you might be getting that email that says, warning, we have a security breach, when you don't. And again, the easiest way to turn off that error message is to tell it that you're using what they think is an insecure function, because what you're doing is just telling it, stop bitching that I won't use your damn browser. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.